Hello, I'm David Frazier, aka the Market Monk, and this is our daily Market Monk show where we strive to tell you everything that you need to know and nothing more regarding factors and developments that we expect to affect the value of your investment portfolios. Well, today on Wednesday, June the 4th, all of the major stock market indices for the United States rose slightly today, while the Dow Jones Transportation Average was down modestly. Stock prices in Europe, as measured by European stock market indices, were also down slightly today, while Japan's Nikkei 25 index, Nikkei 225 index, I should say, gapped higher today. In regard to the trading action in the world's major emerging economies of Brazil, China, and India, Brazil's Bovespa index rose modestly today from substantially oversold levels, while China's Shanghai Composite Index rose slightly, and India's Sensex Index was down slightly today. In regard to major economic statistics that were announced this morning or sometime throughout the day, automatic data processing, which does employment payroll management for thousands of companies across the United States, reported this morning that only 179,000 jobs were created in the U.S. During the month of May versus 215,000 jobs that were created during April and 198,000 jobs during March. And by the way, the jobs that automatic data processing, commonly referred to as ADP, reports on are private sector jobs. ADP, of course, doesn't do any payroll management for the government, and so the jobs that on which it reports do not include government jobs. Those are only private sector jobs. But that was somewhat of a negative development. That is, the private sector jobs rose. Fewer jobs were created, I guess I should say, during May than during each of the prior 2 months, and that's obviously not what we want to see. Now, my opinion is that's just going to be temporary. In my opinion, jobs are going to rebound during the number of jobs that are created every month are going to move higher than that 179,000 level, during June. But we'll have to wait and see. I focus on, as I've told those of you that are watching and listen to our show on a regular basis, I focus on leading economic indicators as opposed to coincident or lagging indicators. Now, I still look at coincident and lagging indicators. I review approximately 100 economic statistics from around the globe every month, and approximately 300 economic statistics from around the world every quarter of the year. But my focus is on leading economic indicators. I don't care much at all about what's happened in the past. I only care about what's likely going to happen in the future. You don't make money in the stock market by focusing on the past. You make money by focusing on the future and trying to forecast what's going to happen in the future and hoping at least, or trying to be right about the future direction of the economy and revenues of companies and earnings of companies during periods in the future as opposed to the past. This report from ADP regarding job creation is obviously a coincident indicator. It's something that's already occurred, but regardless of that, that is a little bit disturbing and surprising to me that we saw fewer jobs created last month than during each of the prior 2 months. I think it's going to be temporary, but I'm not sure of that. We'll have to wait and see. Now, in contrast, the Institute of Supply Management announced this morning that economic activity in the service sector of the U.S. economy rose during May for the third consecutive month. And that's a leading economic indicator. So that's a very positive development. In regard to economic developments abroad, Market Economics, which is a major economic research and forecasting firm, reported today that manufacturing activity in the Eurozone slowed a bit during May. However, that economic activity in the manufacturing sector did nonetheless rise for the 11th consecutive month during May. So I'm not really concerned about that slowdown. It's still economic activity in the very important manufacturing sector of the Eurozone did continue to rise last month, and that's a very positive development. In contrast, a different reporting agency, and it might not even be an agency, it might be a government agency, I'm not sure actually, in Brazil, reported this morning that industrial production in Brazil was down sharply during April as opposed to the same month a year ago. But that really doesn't come as a surprise to me. I mean, there's been a slowdown going on in Brazil for several months now, and not surprisingly, the reason being primarily is because Brazil Central Bank has maintained lending rates, or its key lending rate at least, in that country at very high levels over the past several months, and in an effort to combat inflationary pressures there. So it's not surprising at all to me that we're seeing somewhat of a slowdown in Brazil. Now, regarding just the trading action in the U.S. stock market as opposed to economic factors or geopolitical developments, now I've told you for about the past 8 days now that my review of numerous trading statistics suggests that we're going to see a temporary pullback in U.S. stock prices and in stocks around the globe this week and probably into early next week. We haven't seen that yet, but yet stocks have moved only very slightly higher as represented by the major stock market indices in the United States over the past few days. So I'm continuing to expect a temporary pullback during the days ahead, and the advanced decline line rebounded slightly today, but the VIX, that is the Chicago Board Options Exchange Volatility Index, which many people refer to as the fear index, was up for the third day in a row, and price momentum statistics remain today at substantial overbought levels. So I continue to expect a temporary pullback during the coming days. Now, as I said yesterday, and actually, let me back up a bit. As I've said since we started this show, there's no particular length of this show. We don't have a particular time slot. What I try to do is the way I introduce the show is to tell you everything that you need to know regarding daily economic and geopolitical developments from around the world on an ongoing basis, to focus on those factors and developments that I have shown in the past that tend to affect the financial markets. I don't get into a bunch of unfounded opinions. I focus only on the facts, and but we don't just talk to take up time. We only I focus on telling you what matters and to ignore all of the noise. So sometimes this show may only be a few minutes, and sometimes it may be up to 20 minutes or even a little longer. However, I don't want to just I'm thinking that many of you are looking more from someone like me other than just the raw facts regarding any given day of the week. So as I stated yesterday, starting next week, I'm going to get into a little bit more detail on Mondays and Tuesdays of every week regarding significant economic and geopolitical developments in the United States on Mondays, and on Tuesdays to discuss significant economic and political developments abroad, focusing primarily on Europe, Japan, China, Brazil, and India. On Wednesday nights is going to be our stock night, where I will discuss stocks that are showing signs of the potential to increase in price substantially during a period of approximately 3 months to 18 months into the future. So that's going to be a big night, and I'm thinking that a lot of you probably should tune into that show. On Thursdays, it's kind of somewhat of an educational night. It will be, where I'm going to talk about all types of financial market variables, factors and developments that tend to affect stock prices, indicators that I think you should take a look at, and try to help you to become better investors, speculators, and traders. And in addition to doing that, I've decided I'm going to take questions from you, our audience, on anything that you'd like me to discuss. So send us an email at, just send them to me directly for now, at David F for Frazier, that's David F at themarketmonk.com. And just send me any questions that you have regarding really anything that you want me to talk about. What's going on around the globe, economically, geopolitically, how I expect those factors and developments to affect security prices, or you can ask me about individual stocks. You can ask me about gold and commodity prices, whatever you want, whatever you'd like, I'm open to. And then on every Friday beginning next week was going to be our weekly wrap-up, where I'll just review, summarize important developments that occurred during any given week, and to tell you what my expectations are regarding the week ahead. Okay, thank you for listening and watching. I'll speak with you again tomorrow.